Hello everyone, Sentinel2, welcome to another Modpack overview, this time on CoralCraft, a mod pack that simply adds in a bit of tech and fishing. And you could either just use this as a pack to sort of use on its own, or you probably could expand upon it, but obviously the intention is to play the mods included, and to sort of get, I guess, maybe some people into it to get started with mods, or just experiment with a few things if you just want a small pack, depending on even your performance, I guess. But yeah, so we'll just take a look at what's included. So we've got NEI, of course, where you can find out the recipes or cheat things in. Shift a few pages over, we've got aquaculture, adding in different fish. I think these are mostly caught, they don't appear actually in the world, like say with later versions or so, where you've got your salmon, your cod and so on, or other mods that add them where they're more visible. You've got tools besides the fish, and you've also got loot that you can find as well. There's a bunch of cooked variations of the seafood as well. You've got Buildcraft, which adds in a multitude of different things, from robots that can help you either build or dig up things, defend or attack mobs, harvest crops, and so on. So there's a lot of different options there, for robots at least. And you've got things like quarries which harvest an area for you. You've got a builder to help you build out something for you, as long as you have, I think, a blueprint and such of sorts, which you'll need the architect table for. You've got, I think that's about it for this. Yeah, because it's 3 modules, and it's got the main, the building and digging up stuff and robots. Yeah. You've got other mods that add in certain things, like the ice maker, and a few other sort of building blocks, it seems, or bags. I'm not too sure which one that is. I think it's probably Candy Craft, yes. So you've got certain additional blocks made of marshmallows, I assume. Possibly these appear in a certain biome, I assume. You've got factories for making more, I assume. You've got a sugar furnace. You've got spikes that I assume appear in caves, or you can use for harming mobs, maybe? Again, I'm not really too familiar with this mod, but it adds in a lot of interesting stuff that I actually might want to cover in the future. But yeah, a bunch of candy-themed things for either ore to make into tools or furnaces, or there's additional mobs such as beetles, jelly queens, and creepers, and so on. But yeah, quite a lot of interesting stuff, surprisingly. Yeah, and that's just going to open up to a wiki, which we'll just take a quick look at, obviously. So, yeah, a bunch of different things here. So a ton of recipes, mostly I assume detailed here, maybe a bit more explanation about what it does. Moving on though, we have also, we shift a few pages back this way, other than candy and more, we've also got some other blocks as well. Some opaque lamps, some stews, and a bunch of other things like tea and more, which my guess is fantastic fish. Or so, for example, moors, something like that. So I've got some candy, some gears, chocolate, covered food. We've got tea leaves and a bunch of other options. A bunch of other blocks that you can, I assume, make. Redwoods and so on. Some other biome mod I'm possibly not familiar with. You've got IC2, which adds in a bunch of different machines and such, so if you want to process your ores, make a nuclear reactor, and get power from different sources like solar panels, water mills, dig up ores, and so on. Have a bit of changes to farming in a way, with crop sticks, I think, and then there's also weeds to get rid of, and so on. As well as a bunch of tools, painting options, and seed or crop variations there. Some armour, mining laser, drills, saws, other such bits and pieces. So there's that. Candy craft is there. So we've got a bunch of those options appearing now. And then if we move on, we have coloured armour, which is pretty much just adding a dye to regular vanilla armour. So if you want coloured versions of those, if you don't like the way iron typically looks, or how diamond or gold or otherwise that are compatible here typically look, you can obviously change the colour of them accordingly with a dye. So there's that. Or say to distinguish players from other factions or teams or something if you were playing this in multiplayer possibly. Besides just sort of decorating to suit what your preference is. Finally though, we have the other type of fish mod, which I think was... no, apple milk tea was the other one that I was getting confused with. We've got fantastic fish, which adds in a ton of fish. My guess is it's also for just, you know, fishing them up, not for them being the world, but I might be mistaken. There's a bunch of crabs, coloured fish, tuna, actually no, they're probably not going to be coloured, they're just green fish I guess, salmon, tuna, catfishes, and so on. There's coral, which will spawn in the world to make things interesting. There's different armour as well. There's harpoons, manta rays, shark fins, and so on. So quite a lot of options. Let's go back to apple milk tea, which adds in a bunch of foods and other additional blocks, uses for the ingredients for actually cooking and making tea and such. I've heard of it before, not looked into it much myself, so I can't really say for certain besides what I see here it's available. And then we've got moors, which adds in a few ores and then a ton of tools that you can make stuff from that obviously are better than iron and possibly diamond for their own reasons. But yeah, that's pretty much the pack in a nutshell. So if you just want a small pack to just play around with a few things, but obviously they add a lot of content as they are mods that are really large, then yeah, they've got quite a lot of things to do even with a small mod list. Or if you want to expand it yourself and you just want this as a basis of what to start out with and then expand into other directions, then you could probably use it for that, since obviously it's quite small on the mod listing side of things. So, but yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.